Hey y'all, it's Michael, and today I'm here to do my wrap up for the winter 2018 anime season. I watched a lot of simulcasts. I didn't number it, but I also did watch older animes that I just finished during this season. I'm gonna talk about them pretty quickly, just because I really don't want this to go on too long. Because when I tell y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot of animes, and I think that's one of the one things that I learned this season for me, anyways, personally, is how I was able to keep up with all of these animes. I think this season for sure that I was able to manage time better. Like, since I do love to read also, and I do enjoy reading, I finally managed to balance that, like reading, having enough time to read and actually having enough time to watch anime. And I felt I did really well this anime season because I was able to keep up with a lot, and I mean a lot of these animes. I think overall this season was pretty good. There were some definitely duds, animes I definitely didn't like, and then there were some really high ones. And I think some of them, like especially the my favorites of this season, I think they're gonna become like classics, and people will cosplay as some of these characters in the near future, because I think that they will. There's always those animes when you watch it, you can see that it's going to be something like it's going to be like a really good one that a lot of people could go back on, and then people will like the word of mouth of it is going to increase its popularity. So let's get started. So the first chunk of animes are the older ones. These weren't the simulcasts for the winter 2018 that I just randomly found time, surprisingly, to finish and watch. The first one is Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. I really like this, especially the beginning. The second half of this anime really falters. Unfortunately, it doesn't. The second half isn't as good as the first half, but the way I tried to sell it to my coworker was that it's basically zombies, feudal Japan, samurais, and a train. Like the action sequences in this is incredible, and I think that's why I stuck around with it for so long, is because the action sequences are so incredible. It's done by this Wit Studio, which did Attack on Titan, and you can definitely see the comparisons between the two. But it definitely holds its own against Attack on Titan. But there are some incredible action sequences on here, especially the part where they're like literally on top of the train, jumping on top of zombies, jumping on top of rocks, jumping on top of other zombies. It's really cool. If season two eventually does happen, I'm hoping it irons out a lot of my grievances with this anime, and it's that I kind of wish it was more about survival, like, than the plot that it chose to tell during the second half. Because the first half, like when they're trying to survive against these hordes of zombies, I thought that was its best part, and I was just like, why did I wish you kind of kept on with that. But overall, I really liked it. The next one is Land of the Lustrous. This was this was great. What I really enjoyed about this is that first off, it goes against the misconception that 3D animes are bad because, let's be honest, a lot of them are. The concept of this is so cool, and the thematic, like philosophical undertones of it is like really insightful. I really enjoyed that part, like about the deeper meanings behind the land of the Lustrous. I really loved it, but I think what really stand out was the animation is just so beautiful. This is what 3D anime can really like should aspire to, because the way that the camera moves, that would be so hard to do hand drawn, because it's like it's so fluid, and the pacing keeps up with, like, because the frame rate never, like, it doesn't get choppy at all. It's beautifully animated, just beautiful, like beautiful, 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 and I really liked it, so I would recommend it. Just beautiful anime. Next one is Inuyashiki Last Hero. This is another anime with 3D anime, and I really like this one too. This one was so good. It has it has what I really like about like animes like this, like The Last Parasite, where it's incredibly violent. Like, this is incredibly violent, but it's not per se about the violence. It's more about what the violence is saying, like in a deeper meaning, in a deeper sense. And oh my god, It's this is like edge of your seat thriller. Oh my god, I enjoyed it so much. And the ending, like there are some really shocking moments of this, and it does have some feels. And I really enjoy watching Shiki. Just he's just a great character because you see how him versus um, his counterpart goes against each other because they have this power, but it's like more of what you decide to do with it. And there are some like jaw-dropping animation sequences in this. It's done so well. I really liked it. I would recommend it. The next one is, I think, shocked the anime community in my opinion, and that's Made in Abyss. And I say it shocked the anime community because this was the anime that won Crunchyroll's Anime of the Year award over My Hero Academia, which I thought was going to win for sure. I was like, oh, Anime of the Year. Everybody and their mama is going to vote for My Hero Academia. But when Made in Abyss went up, it's just like, really? It really, really deserved it because wow, this is one of the best animes I've ever seen in quite a while. Like, and I'm putting a stamp on it because it does everything that great animes, just like as a medium of art, can accomplish. It has great characters. The storytelling is incredible. The themes and what it's saying, like you could dissect what it's. Like, you could dissect this anime and like as a fantasy telling, like how it tells the story. It's so great. It's the world building is incredible. Just and the feels. Oh my god, the feels of this anime is what. Oh, character development of this anime is on point, and it's like one of those things where every piece of the puzzle fits. Because like the first, I'm gonna break it down. The animation is it looked like a Studio Ghibli, but for like 13 episodes. I was just like, wow. The animation is incredible, and don't let the Ghibli cute style fool you. It is this anime is not shy to steer from the violence. Like it is violent, and I think that contrast between this cutesy art style and this incredibly violent story that it's telling works because it really shows gravitas and this importance of this adventure. Like there are dangers. Like when you're going on an adventure, there are dangers and death can happen. Oh, it's also so imaginative. Oh my gosh, the world is so like you could from the first episode. I was like, oh, this is building a world where it has infinite possibilities of what it could tell, and that's like really exciting. And oh, the the season finale is heartbreaking, like incredibly heartbreaking. Oh my god, the level of feels on this anime is like oh it made me tear up because you're so invested at that point. It's just like the importance of that really. Oh, this is an anime you should watch, and this will be an anime that anime lovers and not even anime lovers will talk about because it's that good. It surpasses what people conventionally think of anime is because it's just that good. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the simulcast. So these are the animes that I watched while they were showing like in real time. Now some of these have like one episode left or like the season is continuing, but I thought I would talk about them and what I think of them so far within this point. These are not in particular order. I kind of ranked them almost-ish, but then after a while I was just like, okay, I'm just going to throw these on here, whatever. The first one is Marcin Majan, Point Blank Period. Ugh, this had such a great potential to be like actually good, but in the end it falls flat. This story is about like a girl who finds a book who leads her to a magical world where she is able to use like this book as her power type of thing, and they go into this tournament. And the idea of like when it introduces other books and like what different countries do with stories, I was like, oh, this is really good. But it starts to fall really flat after a while. You can tell there are production issues. Episode 9 looks it looks really unfortunate. Like something was off about it. It was so weird. Um, it's on episode 10 right now, and it's about. I think it has like maybe two more episodes, but I don't know. I don't know about it. So yeah, there's that. The next one is Hakata Tankutsu Ramen. This is an anime about like in a world where it's in a city where there's a whole bunch of like assassins, and in the end I thought it was just okay. The potential for it to be really good was like really high because the idea is so cool, but I don't know what it is. I watched it and I this is how you know I was excited about certain animes. We have a really nice TV that shows anime like at its finest, and this is one of those animes where I was just like, like I could wait to just watch it on my phone instead of waiting to actually watch it on in the big screen TV. And I was just like, there were some really interesting moments, but I thought this just really fell flat. It just wasn't exciting for me or like in any way. So yeah, the next one is How to Keep a Mummy. I don't know how to feel about this because in the end I thought it was just like okay, but I was talking to my coworker and he really enjoyed it. He was like, him and his girlfriend really liked it. They thought it was like cute and like just a fun anime. And you know what? I thought it was cute. I would buy a Mikun little. If I saw one at a convention, I would buy one like a paper like a backpack clip or something. But I just thought it was like okay. I did like the introduction of all of the different spirits, but I was just like okay. Like it was just okay. It was literally just okay. The next one, Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. I really didn't like this one either. The ending was so disappointing because this is about a programmer for a game who ends up being in the game he's making, but it's just basically a whole bunch. It's kind of like a harem ichi type of anime, and I was just like, okay. And like even some of the waifus, I was just like, okay, they weren't really interesting waifus. They were okay, like your typical waifu anime. It was just like, okay, that's it. Okay. I wasn't hyped up about it. Also, what I didn't like about this anime too is that there were no tension. Like there wasn't like he was so OP'd, like he was so overpowered that it had no tension in the story. Like you just knew in the end that he was just gonna end up okay. Like there's no point of anything in my opinion. But okay, yeah. The next one is Michiri Nico. This is a short about cats. I kind of like it, surprisingly, even though I don't like cats like that. It was just cute little cat short stories. Some of them, though, I'm not gonna lie, they were funny. They were really funny. And they were like 4 minutes, so I did enjoy it because I was just like, okay, it was like a little break type of thing, and I was just like, okay, sure. Next one is Slow Start. I like this one. I didn't think it was like the best. I thought this okay. A lot of these fall in the okay spectrum. This one was just okay. In the end, there wasn't even a resolution, like a full-on resolution. I thought she was gonna release her secret, but this is basically about a girl who ends up being held back in school, so she stays back. And I did like the friendship between all the girls, and I just thought it was okay. Like okay, as you can tell, a lot of these animes I just finished them just so because I was already like 6 episodes deep into them, so I was just might as well just finish them. So next, SendEuro Boys. This surprisingly falls between I would say like okay and loved. I really like some of the deeper themes about like gender oh gosh about like gender norms and just I really liked it, surprisingly, and I do like Hello Kitty, so I thought that was like, okay, yay! The tension between the boys, I thought that was like keeping the glue of the story together. It was just like, oh, okay, I like this one, and I like all the character developments as we get introduced to these to the different characters. I thought the show kind of falters towards the end, like in the ending chunk of it, because it just felt too happy for me. Even though I know it's delicate, but it just felt a little bit too perfect because I thought there was going to be a little bit more tension, but I did like it overall, surprisingly. I was just like, oh, okay. And even though it's a big, huge advertisement, I was just like, okay, I kind of want to buy some SendEuro stuff. It kind of worked. The next one, the Ryo's work is never done. Surprisingly, this wasn't that good. I quite didn't like it actually. I, it's one of those animes you can tell. I just didn't like it because I just was just like, there's nothing like, nothing kept pushing me to want to watch it. Shoji as a game, we see this a lot in animes, and there are some that I heard like March comes in like a line. Like I heard that portrays that really well. I just thought that this was just like it tried to build tension through Shoji, but it just didn't work in my opinion. It just meh. So yeah. The next one is Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles. This one, my huge gripe about this was that it was a 20-minute, it was a full-on 30-minute anime, and it should have been like an anime short because then it could have just been a short in general, and a lot of the stuff could have been condensed. And while I think the beginning of this is like the charm of it is finding out all of these things about Robin, which it was really insightful. But I'm glad I watched this weekly because I think it would have annoyed me if I watched it like binge watch it because it just wasn't. If you binge watch this, you can get really annoyed because it just while the topic of the ramen was really interesting, that charm of like about talking about ramen, it starts to wear its welcome after a while, and I was just like, okay, this is a little bit. It could have been an anime short. I think if it was an anime short, it would have been better. The next one is Working Buddies. I like this. This is an anime short about cats who are basically working. There were some really funny parts, actually, surprisingly, and I kind of liked it. Oh my god, I love the final episode of this because it's like a Q&A, and I was all for it. I liked it. As you can tell, anime shorts, I think they work out. A lot of anime shorts work out really well for me because they're just so short, and I always feel like when something is like that condensed, you have to be on it. There's no lollygagging trying to tell us the story, and I quite liked it. So next is School Babysitters. In the beginning, I was really hyped up about this, but in the end, I just thought it was okay. I really did like the relationships built between the kids and some of the older brothers. There was nothing that really stood out, and in this pool of like infinite amount of animes, I think this would get lost to the shuffle. So in the end, I thought it was just like, so yeah. The next one is Record of Grand Kresk War. I thought again, I was a little bit lukewarm on this. This is an anime where I would call like word salad. They just spew a whole bunch of words at the of names of people and places and magic and like terms at the viewer, and I was just like, what? But there are some cool like violent anime sequences. But in the end, I was just like, okay, like. And the way it told its story, I was just like a lot of political talk, and at some point I was just like, they keep talking, and I was just like, get to some action. We need the action. I was just like, they talk about the plan for so long, and it's just like, get to the action. But yeah, I didn't quite like it. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm fighting the sun right now. But next one, Killing Bites. This is one of those animes where I literally just took it at face value. I just knew that there wasn't anything going to be like deep about it, but surprisingly, I kind of liked it. It was just so over the top, and after like the few episodes, I was just like, I'm gonna accept it for what it is, and I quite liked it. Surprisingly, it's not an anime for everyone, but you know what? I was just like, okay, because I was so invested after after a while, like 6 episodes, I was just like, you know what? I just might as well continue. The next one, Katana Maidens. In the end, I thought this was just okay. It had a potential, actually. Like the beginning of this was like really intriguing to find out where it was going to go because there was like a part of the mystery of it, and I think that was what really pushed me forward. But in the end, I was just like, okay, and I just thought it was okay. The next one is Kokoko. This is First off, this theme song in the beginning and the end is so good. What I enjoyed most about this was it's really intriguing in the beginning. Like it's really intriguing because you're introduced to this world and like it's really important, like the weight of what's about to happen because like people die. But I think this falters really flat in the second half of it because it just goes in like random. It goes into this random place, and I was just like, huh? But in the end, I just thought it was okay. So there's that. Okay, the next one is Korakai Jozu no Tagaki-san. This was actually really good. I really like this one. This is about two group of friends who sits at the at the back of the classroom who teases each other, and I really liked it. It was just really cute and charming. I don't think you people should watch this like as a binge watch because I think part of why it worked for me is because since it's so charming, I got to watch it every week, and so it was like a really nice anime. I think that's one way to describe it. Is just that it's really nice. Next is Darling in the Franxx. This is this is an anime where the second half really won me over, and that's because the first half it seems as though it was going to be one of those basic, um, like basic anime. It was just really beautifully animated, but the second half really won me over because it starts to delve into the world and like character development, and I was in. When they go to the beach, that's when I was just like, oh, I really like this because as the show progressed after that point, it really gets deep, and once you start to see like there's something deeper than what this anime is showing, like the world building wise, I was like, okay, I really like it. So it's not done yet. I think it's gonna keep going, but I really liked it. So yay. The next one is Beatless. This is not finished as the recording of this. I think it has like one more episode left, but this anime commits the ultimate sin in 2018. First off, your anime show should not have two recap episodes. That's a sin, okay? Two. Because in this world of 2018 anime, viewers nowadays binge watch animes, and having two, come on, man, that's egregious at this point. This one, I just it fell flat for me. The only reason why I started it was because my cousin was like, the waifu potential seems really high, and so I was like, sure, I'll watch it, but I just was, it fell flat for me after a while, so yeah. Next is Black Clover. This anime is not done. It's like halfway point. I think they're gonna have like 51 episodes. Now, this is the anime where in the beginning I was just like, it's your basic anime. But after a while, it gets really intriguing, and I'm really liking. I really like it. I just accept it as one of those shonen shonen animes that I will just. It's just one of those. This anime though, I feel as though like as we get towards the later episodes, it recaps a lot. Like it recaps a lot, and it's just animes are like what 25 minutes at this point. If you're spending 5 minutes of your anime in the beginning recapping what previously happened, and then like 3 minutes after the halfway point recapping what just previously happened, but I like it. I kind of like it. So it's so intriguing on what like I like it. I with even with all of its flaws, it has a lot of flaws. Next is the Georgie Ito Collection. I kind of like this. Now I understand why people don't like this, but I do enjoy horror thrillerish animes, and I really love this type of shows showing like anthologies type of things, and I really liked it. If anything, my favorite episode is Greased. Oh my gosh, that is, if anything, watch that episode because it is cringe. Ugh, it is disgusting. Yeah, the stories it tells, it kind of fluctuates. Like some are great, some are mediocre. So yeah. The next one is Today's Menu for the Amiya Family. I didn't know that this was a Fate spin-off. My cousin just told me about it, but I liked it because it's beautifully drawn and it's basically food. I don't need to explain that much about it. The next one is Citrus. Um, in the beginning, I really liked this because it seemed like a soap opera-ish anime, but in the end, it kind of fell for me, but I would be intrigued to see what season 2 brings, because I think it goes back to those like kind of soap opera-ish moments. I would enjoy it more, because like the beginning was kind of scandalous, and I was like, "Ooh, clutching my pearls" type of thing. The next one is Laid Back Camp. Oh my gosh, this was good. Like if you look at stories like on a spectrum, some are like really thrilling, some are actiony, some are sad drama. In this one, to be honest with you, nothing really happens. It's just about a group of girls going camping, and I loved it. It's beautifully drawn and animated, and it's so relaxing, and it made me want to camp, even though it was like a winter camping thing, which is like it looked cold. It looked really cold, and I don't do well with the cold. But I kind of liked it. It was just so relaxing, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I really liked it. The next one is After the Rain. This anime quite surprised me because in the beginning I thought it was like a love story about this younger high schooler falling in love with her her boss, who is like really old, and I was just you. I thought it was going to go into that direction of like almost like creepy, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, it actually wasn't even about that. It kind of pulls like a bait and switch on the viewer. First off, it's beautifully animated and drawn. Oh my gosh. And I love the theme song and the ending. It's so good. But then it really goes into this deeper look at these two characters and how what they're actually missing in their lives are their love of something else, like their love of like riding and running. And I really liked it. And I love this the storytelling. I think it's really good. I've actually really liked it. The next one is Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card. I love growing up. I love card captors, but after watching this, I was just like, ooh, I think I missed some episodes. But I don't think you have to have watched the original card captors to enjoy this, because it follows a lot of like beat per beat, and in this one it is taking its time, but my god, it is beautifully drawn and animated. Like it is stepping it up. I was just like, wow, this is drawn so well, and I like it. I love, and here's the thing, like yes, it's doing the weekly monster type of thing. If it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. And I think it works because it's slowly showing us that there's something more to these clear cards than what Sakura thinks. And I mean, she's one of the original magical girls. I really liked it, and I really like it. The next one is Pop Team Epic. This is so good. I loved it. It's weird, wacky, just out the wall. It's so creative. There is a part in here where they show the anime in like white, not whiteboards, but like paper, like fold outs. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. I was like, wow. And it's so funny. I think this is the anime that people will be talking about, like, and people will cosplay as them too, but people will talk about late, like keep talking about, because it's just so quirky. The next one is probably one of the most surprising animes this season, and I loved it. It's A Place Further Than the Universe. This is the anime that one of the animes that stood out for me. I was just like, wow, and it was a surprise. It's the storytelling is so good, the character development is incredible, the animation, the art style is so, oh my god, the animation is so good. If someone were to elevate or pitch it, it won't sound as good until you actually watch it, because I think watching how this story unfolds, it's about a group of girls making an expedition to Antarctica, and it doesn't sound exciting. I think what this show, how it shines, is how it tells the story, because it really spends time on these characters, and not only on like their backstory and like the character development of them, and like what makes them tick, but how these girls interact with each other, and it portrays their friendships like in a way that seems so realistic that I was just like, yes, call her out, like ask her why is she acting different, or like what is wrong with, like what makes you happy, like why are you sad. And I love the way it portrays their friendship, because it seems so authentic and genuine. Oh my god, let me tell you, episode 12. Oh my god. Ooh, talk about a masterpiece of an episode. This is one of those animes where like the ending is really good, but the journey to get to the ending is just as good. And the first episode was just like okay for me. I think what really shined for me was the second episode because it really reached this height when they're running in the city. I was just like, oh my god, it's a beautifully shot scene, but also I was just like, oh, I get it. Like, I get why she's like having a midlife crisis almost at age 16, but just it seemed as though like that second episode was really what the deeper themes and the deeper topics that it was going to talk about, and it carries that out because when you get to episode 12, there are 13 episodes. The 13th episode is like really happy, but the 12th episode, oh my gosh, when it talk about a mic drop of an episode, it's really good. Like, I was in my feelings. I would recommend it. This is one of the best animes of the winter 2018. It's one of the sleeper hits. Go watch it. It's good. And then the final anime is one of my favorites. It's The Ancient Magus' Bride. This is an anime that I think it's a journey anime, kind of like how I was talking about a place further in the universe, because the ending, in my opinion, like especially the final episode, it doesn't have this weight, this gravitas that the journey is equal to, but I think the journey of watching Chise evolve as a human being, I think that was really the true story, because and seeing how the people around her affects her, because I think this is a more of a drama anime. This isn't like an action anime, so don't go into it thinking this is it. And because this actually goes further than what the manga goes to, and the ending is so beautiful. It is beautiful, like beautiful. And we finally get the backstory of Chise and the relationship of her family, because then when you see how that relates to like the end, it's so beautiful. It's beautifully animated and drawn also, like top notch animation. It uses like all of these Western mythologies and myths and merges it all together. It's so cool. You see these really like underlining meanings once you start to see a little bit more deeper into the original myths. I think that was just like really cool. And even like the side stories and side characters are really interesting too, especially the gentleman with the older gentleman that lives in town. Oh, that was one of my favorite side stories. I was just like, oh my god, I'm running out of time. There's so much. So yeah, if you watch any of the animes, don't hesitate to leave a long, if you want to leave a novel, I will read and I will respond back. For real. Of those animes, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm really excited for the spring anime because it's going to be so good. I just know it. So yes, until then, I'll see you guys till next time. Bye.